I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this sauce.
Terrapin Station.
What's up, everybody? Why don't we start out by giving a special shout out to Jerry Garcia, the Grateful Dead. On Grateful Dead night. And I swear, when we in the last inning, it was 16-12 going into the ninth inning. And when they scored the run to make it 16-13, I kind of knew they were going to win. Not in like I knew it, but like I had a feeling, and because there was people chirping about the Rockies pick in the comments, and when all the karma's on your side, like a lot of times when someone chirps in the comments, like your bet's gonna come back and win, just like a karma thing. There's no data to back that up. I'm just talking shit. But yeah, that was electric. I had a beautiful Friday night. I had a good Friday night. I was up a unit if the Rockies lost. And then the Rockies came back and won, so I ended up picking up 3 units and change. 4-1 night for me, and I bet Cleveland heavier. So, yeah, I'm in high spirits right now. How about those Rockies? Grateful Dead night. Toast, I know you had a good one. Spoon, did you have a good night too?
I lost 2 games in extras. I went 1 and 2. It was a little frustrating.
Oh, you had the Mets?
Yep.
And what was the other one?
What was the other one?
What other game went to extras? Am I missing? Oh,
the Boston game.
Boston. All right.
I had Houston too. Sauce, would you like to address the allegations that you might be wearing a tie-dye shirt on the stream tomorrow to show your love towards the Rockies and the Grateful Dead after what a night?
Address the allegations. Well, I could tell you if there are allegations that I'll be wearing a tie-dye shirt on this show, that they are horseshit. Would never wear tie-dye anything. I have respect.
Hate to see that.
I also have a home and a bed. I feel like tie-dye goes hand in hand with the homeless. So, now I didn't mean that.
Well, gift horse shirt coming tie-dye?
No, it's just that the gift horse shirt is a plain white shirt. Yeah, I'll put that up on the shop, the Sauce Network shop, a tie-dye gift horse T-shirt. But we got 15 games. I had trouble finding bets in this one. Yeah. So as of right now, I have 1 bet. I'm hoping by the end of this show, I have a few more. First up, really want to take the Dodgers here. Blake Snell, obviously first time pitching in the big leagues in a while. He did make 4 rehab starts and looked pretty strong. He had 4 walks in one of them, but as a whole, he was not getting hit hard. He was striking guys out. He looked pretty strong in his rehab starts. Tampa Bay hasn't really given us much to believe in that lineup. Remember, there's no Aranda right now. He got put on the IL. The last few lefties that the Rays have seen, not really. I mean, they didn't get to Max Fried. They didn't get to Abbott. They didn't get to Trevor Rogers. They didn't get to Garrett Crochet. I'll pull it up on the screen, actually, so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. I just don't think there's any reason to believe in the Rays lineup right now. And even though Blake Snell, he first, you don't love backing a guy first time back, but looks like the Dodgers are getting their shit together. I don't hate the Dodgers here. Do either of you guys agree with that?
Yeah, hopefully you saw my text. I put a couple of picks in the sheet, but Dodgers team total. Okay, yeah, Dodgers team total over 4.5. I don't want to overthink what I have to worry about Blake Snell. I agree with you that he should pitch well against a Rays team that, even with Aranda in the lineup, regardless, I mean, who's in that lineup, this team hasn't hit left-handed pitching all year. My issue is I don't want to deal with Blake Snell, who walks a whole bunch of guys in general, regardless if he's pitching well or not, or feeling well, and in a AAA ballpark his first start up. I just don't want to deal with that. But I can get this Dodgers team versus Rasmussen, who's been, I mean, somewhat decent against the White Sox and the Yankees his last 2 starts, that he's actually won a couple innings. But even here, I think this Dodgers offense is really starting to heat up here, and he does struggle versus lefties. So that's going to be Ohtani, Freeman, Conforto, Edman, that Freeland kid if he's going to play tomorrow. But regardless, can all hit from the left-handed side. So I just think that we're getting a Dodgers team that's starting to pick up the momentum offensively, on top of the fact they're in a AAA ballpark and now they're settled. They didn't have to travel in the day before. I just want my chances with them against that kind of a weaker Tampa Bay bullpen at times as well. So for them to score 5 in that AAA park with decent weather, I thought was a decent bet.
Spoon, what do you think? Dodgers?
Dodgers minus 130. I see it on BetMGM, I believe, right now. This looks like, I don't know. Rasmussen is a guy that's facing innings limits in the second half of the season. If he starts to give up a few runs, I think they pull him early and you get a bunch of innings out of that Tampa Bay bullpen. It's not a bullpen I have a lot of faith in right now with the current set of arms. And Blake Snell is going to force Brandon Lau out of that lineup to start, so you're not going to see him at least until the fifth inning. This is a spot where I can only back the Dodgers. That minus 130 is in my bet slip. I'm pretty close to pressing it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Spoon, there. Shout out to Rico in the comments saying he just got home from the Marlins game. You saw a wild one, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, the only one that tops you will be the people wearing the Grateful Dead shirt right now, because they saw some fireworks. I don't think I'm actually going to bet it, though. It seems like a pretty steep price to pay on the road when there's question marks surrounding Blake Snell first start back from the injury. And then also there's question marks on the Rasmussen side as well. I mean, would anybody be crazy surprised if Rasmussen pitches a gem? Like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's completely out of the question either. So just a pass for me. Spoon, Cubbies, your boy, Matthew Boyd is on the mound. He's pretty expensive, though. What are your thoughts?
He's too expensive. The only way to attack this, I believe, would be a Cubs team total. I definitely can't get there with trying to play a money line or even a -1 here. A -1, you're going to build it. It's going to be -150. That's a lot. The wind is blowing in at Wrigley tomorrow. Suppresses runs. It's not going to be as extreme as it was today, but I'm not trying to lay a bet where I need to win by 2 runs with the wind blowing in at Wrigley, even if it is August. So Cubs team total over. Get you the number really quick.
I got a -110. That sound right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Cubs team total over 4.5 is sitting at -110 right now. So that's what I'll put up. Toast, what do you think?
It would be over 8 or pass for me. I don't think I can actually pull the trigger because I don't really love, like he said, the lefties in that line. Or I'm sorry, the wind blowing in Chicago for 1, and then for 2, I don't really know. I mean, this Baltimore offense has hit left-handed pitching. I don't know. You take Laureano, who is pretty good against left-handed pitching. You take O'Hearn, which obviously isn't as good as versus left-handed pitching, but still, you take those guys out of the lineup and you replace them with guys like Dylan Carlson and that Jackson kid, Jeremiah Jackson. Like, I don't really know if those numbers where they're putting up essentially 4 runs a night is really sustainable. They also did it against a couple guys on the Rockies, Logan Allen and Easton Lucas. So it wouldn't shock me if Matthew Boyd had a bounce back performance after getting absolutely shelled in Milwaukee. But I do expect, I would assume in my head that Baltimore scores a couple runs tomorrow. And then as far as Sagano is concerned, he's been pretty damn bad. I mean, he had 1 decent home start against the Rockies, but besides that, you have to go back to the beginning of 2 months ago when he had a decent home start on the road in Seattle, which is a pitcher-friendly environment, obviously. So it would only be over 8 for me. I think the weather is just going to hold me off of it. I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of, I don't know. I just don't love it.
I kind of lean towards the Baltimore side. I think this is a little too steep. Not that I don't think the Cubs are going to win the game, but -210. Baltimore's been playing some decent baseball. They've been hitting lefties, the last few lefties that they've seen. In fact, in the last 30 days, this is a top 5 lineup in baseball against left-handed pitching right here. They're 3rd in WRC plus, 4th in OPS in the last 30 days. So I think +170 is a little bit of a favorable number to get with a lefty on the mound. Look, I don't trust Sagano. I don't love the Orioles to come in here and win this game. I just think this price is too steep, so I would lean towards the Baltimore side. As far as the voice chat goes, everyone's on the Dodgers in the first one. Jacob Asted and Money Mark actually laid the run line. In this game, wow, everyone's on the Cubs side, really? Jacob's on the Cubs.
I couldn't do it. I agree with you. And I had the Cubs today, and they were 2 feet away from essentially almost losing that game. Like, yeah, I couldn't do it.
I kind of want to bet Baltimore, to be honest.
I didn't even consider laying -1.5.
+176 I can get on FanDuel. I'm going to circle that one. I might add the Orioles at the end of this. Let's go ahead and move on to the next game, which is Royals Blue Jays. I really look. You know what, Spoon, go ahead because I like what you said. I agree with almost everything you said in the voice chat about this game. Actually, what I was looking at was Scherzer has really nice numbers against righty bats. He struggles against lefties this year, and I'll pull it up on the screen so you guys can see it. So we got Kansas City, Toronto. All right. Oh, whoops. All right. So we got Scherzer, and this is what I was looking at right here. So first of all, Scherzer looked great in his last start. 7 innings, just 3 earned runs, just 3 hits. You see his numbers. He's got great numbers against righty bats. The Royals, a lot of righties. There's not a ton of dangerous lefties in that lineup. So I don't think it's crazy that Scherzer could pitch well. On the other side, Noah Cameron, I mean, he's been good, but Toronto's been one of the best lineups in baseball for a month now. So I kind of like Toronto in this game. The problem is I think as a whole, the Royals are an underpriced team right now. So I don't want to make a habit of fading them because I think the Royals, I think you might be able to make some money betting the Royals in the next month or so. I lean towards the Toronto side, but I'm going to need like a minus 132-ish to actually place this.
Yeah, dude, they're 160 now.
Like they're
taking crazy
well, when we were
money.
talking about this game, they were minus 142.
Yeah,
so
the price is absolutely ridiculous. Go ahead, Spoon.
So, as you guys are talking about, this price is too much, but in the voice chat, it was pretty dominant Kansas City heavy, and it made it easier to make my point. Noah Cameron, while he's pitched really well this season, when he's faced good lineups, he has not been great. Gave up 6 earned runs to the New York Yankees, gave up 5 earned runs to the LA Dodgers, gave up 4 earned runs to the Chicago Cubs. This Toronto lineup, the way they've been swinging the bats, are right there with all of those teams, and I think they can definitely get to Noah Cameron tomorrow. He's a guy I do like. I think he's got a bright future in the league, but I don't think necessarily tomorrow is the spot to try to get on him. I agree with the sentiment that Kansas City does have some value here down the stretch. They see a weakened Cleveland team, and this is going to be a spot where they still have a chance to make the playoffs. So they're going to be pulling out all the stops trying to win games down the stretch. But like you said, Scherzer struggles with lefties. We look at Kansas City's lineup. Every bat you're worried about, India, Witt, Garcia, Perez, they're all righties. The lefties we're talking about in this lineup, Kyle Isbell, John Rave. I mean, Vinny Pasquantino, he's one of those 3 true outcome guys, but maybe he gets one off Scherzer, a home run. Maybe there's a guy on base, but outside of that, I really think that Scherzer comes out there, deals pretty well. I have some faith in this Toronto bullpen at this point, and I think they lock this game up. The minus 142 that we were looking at is definitely gone. I was hoping the sentiment from the voice chat with everybody on Kansas City would kind of ring true with the public as well, and we might be able to get a better line. But I might circle back around and look at a -1.
What do you think, Toast?
I over 8 for me. I'm not really impressed with what I've seen from Max Scherzer. Yeah, I get what his splits are, but that 7-inning performance in Detroit, it means absolutely. I mean, doesn't mean much to me when Detroit hasn't been scoring runs and wasn't scoring runs. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good quality start, but it doesn't really ring to the point where I'm like going to the window to back Max Scherzer. And then, I mean, the Yankees, I mean, he didn't really look great against the Yankees. That was a home start. He looked okay, I guess, in Oakland or Sacramento, excuse me. He looked somewhat decent, I guess, against the Angels. 8 base runners in 4 innings and 2 runs. I mean, that's not really impressive to me. And again, I get the splits, but I mean, this Kansas City team has been putting up runs versus right-handed starters. So, and especially they're a team that we like to back their bats on the road. So I do think that they're capable of putting up runs against Max Scherzer and this Toronto bullpen that has been lackluster for over a month and a half now. So, and then on the other side, I mean, it's Toronto versus a lefty. They're one of the best lefty lineups. They're one of the best home lineups. Noah Cameron, I mean, his away starts against the Cubs. He started one against Seattle. I mean, one against San Diego. I mean, 2 of those teams truly can't hit. So, I mean, I just feel like this is a huge step up in class for Noah Cameron as well. I truly don't understand why this number is 8. But yeah, over 8.
Yeah, it does feel a little low. If the roof's going to be open and the weather looks good, so I would imagine the roof's going to be open, I can't argue with an over. Oh, by the way, if in case those of you were wondering, it is not Drake night, like it said in the comments. It is actually Blue Jays bat cooler sling bag night at the ballpark. So doesn't really do anything for me. It's not a Grateful Dead t-shirt, that's for sure. Now we get to my only bet.
Oh, there we go. Shout out White Sox. Let's go. Okay.
You got your over?
I'm pushing. I don't know. I can't watch the game right now, but I'm pushing at least. That's all I know. That's all.
What do you have, 9?
Yeah. So, yeah. Plus 2.77 units today, maybe even more. Let's go, boys.
I got you beat.
I know. Damn it.
So, my only bet. Come on now.
Yo.
Hey, do I look like the type of guy that would punch a gift horse directly in the face?
No.
I got a plus 176 or something. It's not. Guys, look, I know it's Skeens, but I don't know how deep into this game Paul Skeens is going to pitch here, guys. We're getting into the late months here in the season. Pirates are obviously out of it. What's the point of stretching this guy into the 6th, 7th inning in Coors Field? Maybe at home in front of their home fans, because he's a draw and all that. And actually, Spoon was talking about that in the voice chat. I'm not really expecting the Pirates to push Paul Skeens very deep into this game. And go ahead.
He's coming off of 99 pitches. That's by far his most in over a month. The last time that he threw over 90 pitches in a start, he pitched 4 innings on the road in Milwaukee. Like, the idea that he's going to go up in elevation and pitch a whole bunch of innings is, I think, crazy to me personally.
Right. And then Paul Skeens, let's say he gives you 5 innings here. I mean, guys, remember, the Pirates don't have Bednar anymore. Their closer is Santana. He just threw 29 pitches tonight. So who's pitching the second half of this game for the Pirates? They have no bullpen. This bet is simply a bet on, guys, the Pirates should not be minus 210 on the road. Are you freaking crazy? Went right back to it. I can show you the exact number I got. I got plus 176. I am in. Spoon, are you with me?
I'm still looking at that plus 112, 1.5 line. I'm going to lock it in by the end of the show. I think I like the 1.5 better. And I also wonder, is it smart to bet it right at this moment? Because I feel like the public is going to hammer Paul Skeens, and the Pirates, they're going to see this, and it's Paul Skeens. He demands money. But like you mentioned, he just threw 99 pitches in his last start. I think the starts he's going to go longer in are all going to be home starts. They're going to try to appeal to their home fans, the season ticket holders, give them something to cheer for. And you got to save them on the road. They got to have an innings limit on this guy. This is a really important arm to them moving forward in the future. And this is his first start in Coors Field. While he's a great pitcher, there's plenty of great pitchers throughout the years that have absolutely been rocked in this park. And I think Colorado Rockies can definitely get a run or two off Skeens, and then we get into that bullpen in the 5th inning. We get 5 innings of that Pirates bullpen. That would be just the recipe for success for this. Plus 176 looks really tempting, but plus 112 also looks really tempting.
Toast, are we sweeping Rockies again 2 nights in a row?
Yeah, absolutely. So just a couple things to add, I guess, really. One, I guess Skeens, it's like I said yesterday, like I thought it was going to be minus 250. Obviously, they can't really put the Pirates at that. But I also want to say that I think that we're getting this number, this hugely inflated number with the Pirates, not because the Rockies are so bad, but because the Pirates have played so well the last couple weeks, and which is great for them. But at the same time, I mean, when they played Detroit a week and a half ago or whatever it was, I mean, Detroit was absolutely reeling. I mean, they couldn't do anything right. When they played Arizona, 3 games in Arizona, again, they're winning all these games, but Arizona couldn't score a run to save their life. So again, good job winning. And then they go on the road and beat San Francisco, who literally just gave the games away because they couldn't score either, or they couldn't play defense. So yes, the Pittsburgh has been winning games, but that doesn't mean they should be a minus 200 favorite on the road here. We talked about what Skeens has to do. And oh, by the way, like Austin Gomber has some gaudy bad numbers at times. But I mean, like his last home start against St. Louis isn't anything special. But rewind his previous 2 starts before that at home against the Dodgers, 5 innings, 1 run, at home against Houston, 5 innings, 2 runs. So it's not like he's getting shelled. He got shelled previous to that against Arizona. I'm not trying to make it seem like Austin Gomber's some Cy Young winner in Coors Field, but Paul Skeens has also never pitched in Colorado before, so maybe those things don't break the way I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying that there's so many reasons not to play our Pirates at this number. It's crazy. So the only reason I hadn't bet it is because I was wondering what this line would do, but I don't think you're going to beat 176.
Let's get caught up on the voice chat. Adrian likes the under in Royals Blue Jays. Astead was very adamant about the Royals money line. He
Wow.
yeah, he put an exclamation point on that one, and he was upset if anybody disagreed with his Royals money line pick. Dead ass. What was on Bichette over hits, runs, and RBIs. Benji's on the Royals team total over. Jacobs on the Blue Jays as well. And then the game we just did, Pirates Rockies. Jacobs on the Rockies plus 2.5. Charles is on the Rockies with us. Benji's on the over. Well, he just said it in the YouTube chat as well. And then I'm on the Rockies as well. All right. Let's move on to the next game, which is, all right. So I'm going to go quickly. And first of all, as you guys know, I was on the Brewers, and it was a sweat-free win, the minus 150. Never a doubt. Woodruff's been great. He looks very good. The Nationals bullpen, all kinds of concerns. Don't you think the number has swung a little bit too much here? We're now
100%.
Yeah, we're now.
They're not facing a lefty either. That's a huge difference as well.
Exactly. I mean, look, Woodruff's been great, and everything I said about the Nationals and their bullpen closing out games, that still applies here. So I'm not just forgetting all that, but it swung 40 cents. And guys, the Brewers, and this is an average lineup in the last. I mean, these numbers are not blowing me away. It's not like they're setting the world on fire offensively. Keep in mind, there's still no Churios. He's still out, who's probably their best player or their best offensive player. Actually, I think he's a pretty good defender as well, isn't he, Churios? Yeah, so is he their best player? He's probably their best player, right? Him or Freddie? Yeah, so they're missing their best player. To put them at minus 190 on the road with Woodruff, who's only made 4 starts in like the last 3 years. And don't look now, my guy is starting to come around. My guy being Jake Irvin. If you've watched this show for years, you know I'm kind of a Jake Irvin apologist. Great start on the road in Minnesota. He got hit up by the Reds. Great start against the Brewers. He went into Milwaukee, 5 shutout. Got hit up by the Cardinals. Great start at home by the against the Tigers. I'm not trying to say Jake Irvin's been great. I'm just trying to say he's kind of getting priced like a gas can here. 3 of his last 5 starts have been good starts, including 5 shutout innings against this Brewers lineup. I think the line has swung too much. I kind of lean towards the Washington side at this. I mean, I don't know what number I could get right now. Washington, what's the best I can get? Plus 158 on Caesars. Toast, do you agree?
I agree as far as the side. I'm not betting this game. I put the Brewers team total over 4.5 up for our pick sheet for the show, but I have no interest betting it. I will say, though, what you neglected to say about those good starts, those 3 of those 5 starts about Jake Irvin, those were all on the road. None of those were at home, which is where he'll be pitching here today, where he has been significantly worse all year. So on top of the fact that he does struggle with lefty bats, Terang, Yelich, Collins, Frelick, Perkins. So, again, I don't really love the Brewers versus right-handed pitching, but the fact that Jake Irving hasn't really been good at home and he has the Nationals bullpen behind him, and he's coming off a 7-inning performance. He hasn't pitched into the 7th inning, I don't think, in 3 or 4 months prior to that, maybe even longer. So I think Jake Irvin is such a huge wild card. I agree with you that the price has swung a little bit too much. There's no way I would lay it with the Brewers here or put them in a parlay at this price, especially versus a right-handed pitcher. But I think that with decent weather, they might be able to get to 5 runs. I don't know, though. It's not a bet I love.
Spoon, before you go, you should take a look at something. It's Jacob Young bobblehead night in DC. Ooh. Jacob Young diving. He's making a diving play on the bobblehead. I'm saying this tongue in cheek. Toast probably thinks this is cool.
I mean, the 9-hole hitter with a bobblehead. Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
I was about to say hit runs RBIs for Jacob Young.
Yeah, okay, I'm down for that.
I would love someone to bust out a spreadsheet on with data on players on their bobblehead night if they go over
I bet you Narrative Street on Twitter has it. They have they do that type of I don't know. We'll see. Never mind.
Spoon, what do you think?
I like the Brewers -1 here. Trying to build it. I think you're going to get just north of -130 on it. That's not a terrible price to play versus this Washington bullpen that's going to have 5 AAA arms in it, just looking at the current bullpen configuration. And I know you like Jake Irvin, but I don't share that sentiment. And especially versus a lineup that can roll out this many lefties, I feel like Milwaukee is a lock to win this game. And that's why I don't really the -1 doesn't really bother me that much. I think this is a spot where they come in, clean house, the bullpen advantage, the starting pitching advantage. One thing that does bother me a little bit is Brandon Woodruff already saw this Washington lineup. He's only pitched in 4 games, 2 of them versus Miami. And the second game versus Miami, they got 4 hits off him. They got 3 walks. So I feel like that same thing could be true for Washington. They might be able to work the pitch count a little bit deeper. This guy's still coming back from injury. I could make a small case for Washington, but it's not anything I'm going to play. But the Brewers -1 is my big lean here.
I kind of want to bet the Nationals. There's no
why not
one.
Their team total? If you really believe in Washington, why do you want to bring in all those AAA arms? Like Kyle Finnegan has been the only arm.
I think the Brewers might lay an egg, man. They haven't been all that good. They're missing their best player. I think the Brewers have been winning games. Plus, they scored a big number.
Best player is Andrew Vaughn, to be clear, and Andrew Vaughn is
Trevor
still in the
changes who he thinks the best player is every 5 days. Whoever hit a home run today, that's the best player.
The manager has pocket pancakes throughout the game.
That is true.
Literally pulling a pancake out in the middle of an interview. What are we doing? That guy is so on brand for Milwaukee.
By the way, he's not joking. That wasn't a joke he just made. I'll pull it up and show you guys. This happened. Hold on, Spoon. You tagged me in it on Twitter. I can find it.
Yo, Pat Murphy is a G. Leave him alone.
All right, here it is, guys.
Craig Counsell's college coach.
I'm gonna hit play. He literally had. Sorry, that was playing in my ear. He literally had a pancake in his pocket. Welcome to Milwaukee. Trevor's probably like, that's dope.
I got the pancake at the gas station on the way home.
So, all right, let's go to the voice chat, and you can see everyone is on Milwaukee here. Jacob's on the -1. Ace said -1.5. Bo was -1.5. I kind of want to take a trip to Nats Island, if I'm being honest. And
Just want to be clear, guys. I did not bet that.
all right, let's move on to the next one. Pirates, Phillies. And I got to say, this one is more of just a fun talking point type of game. Obviously, this is electricity here. It's Skubal against Wheeler. Total's down at 7. You'll never see a 7 at Citizens Bank Park. That is
I got a 6.5.
Yeah, Toast is on the over 6.5, by the way. So, spoilers. Go ahead, Toast.
Okay. So I guess for me, it's we can start with Zach Wheeler. I mean, it's not even, I guess I should start with this. It's not even like me fading both of these pitchers or anything like that. It's more or less that we're getting a 6.5 in the bank when I just don't feel like you shouldn't be getting these lower numbers. And if you look at these guys, these starters, I mean, yes, you can poke holes, but I mean, there's a lot of people that, I mean, I was listening to some of that voice chat, and I mean, I don't listen to a whole bunch of it, but people thinking that Wheeler's washed and all this stuff, like I'm betting the over, but that's an absolute fallacy. And keep in mind, and this goes opposite to the over, his 2 bad starts were on the road. At home and in the bank, he's been almost untouchable. So it's not a fade of, but my point is, it's not a fade of Wheeler. It's just more or less that you're getting a low total. And as far as Skubal is concerned, not only have the Phillies bats who, that's another thing that I heard a lot, is that the Phillies bats are dead. They're terrible. Well, not only have they hit left-handed pitching better on the year than right-handed pitching, they've actually been putting up some runs against decent guys too, like Andrew Abbott, Nick Lodolo, Carlos Rodon. Robbie Ray pitched well against them. Kikuchi pitched well against them. They still had 8 hits or 8 base runners in 5 innings. But if you look at Skubal on the road, let me pull it up. I mean, his game logs on the road, I mean, are we really that impressed? First of all, they're kind of few and far between, for one. And for two, like, what impresses you about 6 innings, 1-run baseball on the road at Texas? Nothing. On the road at Cleveland. Yeah, I hope you pitch 7 innings.
This is a ridiculous narrative.
I'm not done. I hope that you pitch 7 innings of no-hit baseball or 1-run baseball, whatever it is, on the road in Cleveland, a team that freaking can't hit. Same thing with Baltimore at the beginning of last month. That team couldn't hit left-handed pitching for months. And now I'm supposed to be impressed that he went 7 innings? The Royals, another team that's just offensively gifted, man. You better watch out, because Kansas City's putting up 5 runs a night. Oh, wait, they're not. St. Louis, I mean, the Angels. I mean, again, Skubal is very, very good. One of the best that we have in the sport. But to say, I mean, his road record is spotty at best. I mean, he's pitched really well, but this is by far the biggest test that Skubal is going to see on the road this year. And it's not even close. So, again, I also like the fact that everybody in these bullpens went today, or a lot of them went today. I just don't feel like with this weather, this total should be 6.5. So I put like over 6.5 at -125.
Strong words. So for those of you that are wondering, so tomorrow at the ballpark, they're honoring Dick Allen, who is a Phillies legend. And so to find out who it was, I went and Googled it. Tell me this doesn't look like Robert Downey Jr. in
oh my God, the red hat! Oh my God, in Tropic Thunder.
In Tropic Thunder, yeah, it looks like Robert Downey Jr. So yeah, but tomorrow. So in this game they're honoring Dick Allen, but in Sunday's game they're honoring Jimmy Rollins. So Jimmy Rollins Day is on Sunday.
I think they're doing like a Monument Park type of thing. There's like a whole bunch of people going, like 3 or 4 people going this week, and they did the same thing today too.
It's Dick Allen, and yeah, I just read that. So, okay, here are my thoughts. I think what Toast just said about Skubal on the road is ridiculous. He's the best pitcher in the league.
What's ridiculous about it? Which one of those teams can hit? That's all I'm saying is that this is the biggest test he's going to face on the road this year.
Yeah, I understand that maybe his schedule on the road has been a little on the easy side, but I still don't think that's enough evidence to declare Skubal as a fade on the road, or we can't trust him on the road. Dude's as good as it gets. That being said, I kind of do lean towards Philadelphia here. My thoughts are, in what world is this a pick'em in Philadelphia? The Phillies with Wheeler on the mound, I would have them favored at home against anybody with any pitcher on the mound. Same thing with the Tigers with Skubal. If this game was in Detroit, you're telling me this would be Tigers -145, -150? They'd be giving you a +125 with Wheeler in Detroit. That's crazy. I think that's crazy. I think that the fact that this is a pick'em is. The Tigers maybe they are back a little bit offensively. It's only been a few games here in Citizens Bank Park where the Phillies are one of the best home lineups in baseball. I think to have this at a pick'em is crazy. Skubal's the man, but it's the Phillies with Wheeler at the mound. They should be favored at home against anybody with anybody on the mound. Maybe the Dodgers with Glasnow or something.
I was just going to say, would you rather have Yamamoto, your pick of the Dodgers starter, or Kodai Senga with the rested bullpen? Which one would you rather take?
Kodai Senga with the Mets would be still -120 Phillies in Philadelphia.
I just think it's a fun exercise too.
Skubal's the man, but a pick'em in Philadelphia with Wheeler is crazy. I agree. In the Citizens Bank Park with Wheeler on the mound, the Phillies should be favored against anybody.
If the Phillies get to like +100, +105, I will be betting the Phillies, just for the record.
What do you think, Spoon?
We talked about this in the voice chat for quite a little bit. This is a spot where I lean to the Tigers. I haven't got to the ticket window with it yet, but Tariq Skubal, you've already said it. I think this guy's the best pitcher in the league right now this season. And if we look at Zach Wheeler and we try to poke holes in him, it's left-handed hitters versus him. The last 3 seasons, he's had a higher whip, had a higher slug, given up all the lefties. When I want to fade the Tigers, it's versus a lefty because Kerry Carpenter, their best bat's not going to be in the lineup. But we have Colt Keith, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Wenzel Perez, Zach McKinstry. They have other lefty bats they can toss in there as well, depending how they want to structure their lineup tomorrow. I think this line is very fishy on both sides. I don't think I've ever seen a 6.5 in this ballpark with any pitcher ever. This is like a T-Mobile number. This is a Wrigley, the wind blowing in with elite pitchers on the mound number.
This is Skeens Cardinals game.
This doesn't make sense. Like when Skeens faced Kirby in T-Mobile, that opened up at a 7. You could get a 7. It closed at 6.5, but like that number opened up higher than this did. That it just doesn't make sense. My initial just like obvious lean, I do like that over because I mean you can always get runs off pitchers. Like no matter how good of a pitcher you are, you're gonna have bad games throughout the course of the season, and just a number that low, it doesn't make sense. But Detroit did use a lot of their arms today, but they didn't use their newest addition, Kyle Finnegan. He's going to be available to close out that game tomorrow. You have Zach Wheeler, who I think is liable to get touched by a few of these lefties. I think this is a Tiger spot. I agree that this should probably be more favored towards Philadelphia than it is right now, and kind of makes me a little uncomfortable, but I like the Detroit Tigers.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Twins Guardians. We actually have a line open. There was no line. So it looks like we're opening up Cleveland minus 158, Twins plus 134. Yeah, Cleveland. So, wow, Circa has this open. Twins at plus 153.
Jesus.
So FanDuel's way off from Circa on this one. I'll put the poll at FanDuel's numbers. Obviously, I didn't look at this one because apparently it's going to be Bailey Ober. That's what someone said in the voice chat, but I don't know that to be true. Either you guys have any thoughts on this one?
No, I don't think you can lay. I mean, I know that the Twins are bad, and well, there's twofolds for me. I would love to continue to fade the Twins and continue to bet on Cleveland like we have been, but Bybee's been absolutely terrible over his last 7 starts. I think his best start was on the road at the White Sox, where he gave up 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. But there is a kind of a big but to it. He absolutely owns Minnesota. I mean, this year, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run against them. Last year, he had 4 starts against them. Call it 23 innings, only 5 runs, and I don't know, call it 15 hits or something like that, over 20 some strikeouts and only 2 walks. So, and that was a Twins team that had everybody in their lineup most of the time too. So I have a hard time believing Tanner Bybee doesn't continue to pitch well against this team, but do I pay that price? Probably not.
Spoon, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Tanner Bybee comes out here, has a really good game. We look at the right-handed pitchers that have seen the Twins recently. Nobody's given up more than 2 runs since they saw the Colorado Rockies and German Marquez. So I think this is a spot where Tanner Bybee comes out here, pitches really well. The back end of that Cleveland bullpen obviously is missing their most important arm, but they still have really good arms back there. The price is too expensive for me to lay it. I didn't get a chance to cap this game that heavily without lines or anything, but lean Cleveland minus 1.
Giants Mets in Citi Field. I honestly consider taking the Mets at minus 120. This is my only loss tonight, was the Mets. Lost in extras. I honestly considered laying the big number with the Mets. It's their ace on the mound at home in this pitcher's ballpark. I can't imagine the Giants scoring a bunch of runs against Kodai Senga in this ballpark. I don't even know who's pitching for the Giants. It just seems like a layup. And even though minus 195 is expensive, based on the fact that I don't know who this pitcher is, and the Giants bullpen is severely limited after the trade deadline, I would imagine this should be minus 260. So I honestly almost took a minus 195 with the Mets here. Either any of you guys have thoughts?
I mean, I can't disagree that I think that the Mets are going to win. And you probably, I mean, I couldn't disagree with that. I know that this Tang kid, or however you say his name, has actually been pretty decent in AAA. I think he's got had like a 1-1 whip and like 86 strikeouts to 21 walks or something like that. So again, I don't take that for what it is, but I agree. I think that the Mets win this game going away easily. So if you want to pay it, pay it. I can't find a way to bet the Giants. If I could, I would.
Spoon?
Yeah, like he said, this Tang kid's been pitching really well in the minors, and that's in the PCL. I think this is a spot where Tang probably comes out there, pitches well for the first few innings. I don't have any faith in these Giants bats to get runs off the Mets tomorrow, so Senga's really good. This is a spot where I just can't get there with either side. If I would, it would be the Mets minus 1, but I'm not trying to lay minus 150 with a minus 1 in this New York Mets team that I lost on in extra innings today. I got to that point and I was like, we have the bullpen advantage, all these arms. This is exactly where you want to be and it didn't come through.
I also want to see, I mean, if I'm going to lay that number with the Mets, I want to see Kodai Senga pitch well before I lay this big number. I mean, he hasn't really looked good his last couple starts, and he's seeing the Giants again after he just really didn't pitch well against them. So do I expect him to walk another 5 guys? Probably not, but still, I want to see it before I lay it.
Let's get caught up on the voice chat. Tigers, Phillies. Jacob's on the Phillies. Kevin's on the Tigers. Benji's on the over. Spoon is on the Tigers, as we heard. Minnesota, Cleveland. Jacob's on the Guardians. Giants, Mets. Benji's on the Mets team total over. Boba's on the Mets team total over. Jacob's on first 3 or first 5 under. All right. Next game. Yankees, Marlins. Spoon, I know you like the Yanks here. I remember you talk about it in the voice chat.
Yeah, I went ahead and bet it -118. It was available on FanDuel. I think it's still the same number. I don't think much has changed here. Cam Schlittler, a rookie, hasn't pitched a lot in the major leagues at this point. I think this is a really good Marlins lineup for him to have to go up against. Jesus Sanchez obviously isn't in the middle of it anymore. This guy struggles a little bit more with lefties than he does righties. There's not a ton of good lefties on this Marlins lineup that I'm really worried about. Xavier Edwards is a switch hitter, so he can go from the left side, and Stowers. But outside of that, there's not a single bat I'm worried about him facing tomorrow. And on the opposite side, Yuri Perez, he's looked really good out there. And this is a guy that's been highly touted from a young age, came up pitching in the major leagues at like 21 years old originally before his first injury. And I think a lot of people are going to want to continue to back this guy. And I think that's why we get such a good price. But if we look at Yuri Perez, his history in the minors and going back pre-injury, he's always struggled more with lefties than he has righties. And he's got a 4.81 xFIP to lefties this season. And that's most of the New York lineup right now. That's Jason Dominguez, Ben Rice, Cody Bellinger, Jazz Chisholm, Ryan McMahon, Austin Wells. I really think they can get to Yuri Perez tomorrow. I don't see any reason not to play it. I know everybody saw the Yankees bullpen just absolutely implode today, but there's a lot of really good pitchers in the back end of that. And I don't expect any of those pitchers to have back-to-back bad days versus the Marlins.
Toast.
It would only be under for me, under 8.5.
That's where I'm at too.
I think that Perez should be fine. Personally, he's looked good. I mean, he's finally starting to get his innings, and he looks completely fine. Yeah, the xFIP versus lefties is really, really high, but the whip's still under 1. So I will give you that this is a pretty big test with a whole bunch of lefties in the lineup with, I think, 6, 7 lefties in that lineup tomorrow. So it's definitely a test, but I don't really think that this Yankees lineup is that good enough to really make him pay. I mean, he is an upper echelon pitcher in this league. And keep in mind, the Marlins bullpen has been fantastic for almost 2 months now. It's not just 14 days or 30 days. I mean, I know it only shows that for our spreadsheet, but even a full season, they're top 15-ish, depending on which static you want to look at. So I don't really worry about the Marlins pitching staff in this game as a whole. And Schlittler, I mean, Marlins doesn't really hit it home, on top of the fact that this is like a big start for this kid after they just released Stroman. So now this is kind of like his spot in the rotation type of thing. I expect him to get up and pitch well as well. I don't mind a first 5 under 4.5. I think this game probably closes at 8, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, I agree. Under Yuri Perez has been almost untouchable. He's been great. In his last 5 starts, he's pitched 28 innings. He's given up 4 earned runs combined in the last 5 starts. And I mean, the hits, 2 hits, 5 hits, 3 hits in 7 innings, 2 hits in 5 innings, 1 hit in 6 innings. No one's touching this guy right now. And I feel like everyone has short memory with this Yankees lineup. It was just a couple days ago when we were all like, you can't trust this lineup without Judge. They can't hit without Judge. That was just a few days ago. Now, I know they put up a big number today, but I don't think this Yankees lineup is very good without Aaron Judge. They're a below average lineup in the last 14 days. I don't think they get to Yuri Perez, but at the same time, I don't ever trust the Marlins to score at home. This has been one of the worst home lineups in base. They never score runs in this ballpark. I know they give you one explosion every once in a while. This is, in the last 30 days, this is a bottom 5 home lineup. So yeah, I like this under 8.5. I actually might bet this.
Yeah, previous to today, in Miami's last 10 games, they scored over 4 runs, I think twice. I think they had a couple 4s on there, but it's not, I mean, at home or on the road, this team really isn't scoring a whole bunch of runs. Like Kyle said, they put up a couple fireworks every once in a while. But yeah, they're really not scoring runs in general.
I'm going to bet this under. Now, for what it's worth, I think I would lean towards agreeing with Spoon on a side. I think I would lean towards the Yankee side slightly at that price. There's a minus 118, but I'm going to bet this under. The best price I can get is minus 115, minus 115, minus 150.
365, you down?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I'm in. One second, let me place this bet, and then we'll continue. All right, I'm in. Let me just share it with everybody, and then we'll keep going. I'm struggling to find bets.
Bet that on your.
I'm in. Bet that on yours. Next.
No, I got to use my wife's accounts. I mean, come on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just helping my wife.
Yeah,
I'm just helping her out.
Just giving her some unsolicited advice.
Keep that out of your account is what you meant to say.
Rangers on the road in Seattle. What was the final score of this one?
A 3-2, I think. Unless I completely missed it.
Oh no, it's still on. It's 3-2 in the ninth.
Okay, I thought that was
up. Toast, what do you think of this game?
I really want to bet Texas here. I think that Merrill Kelly is really, really undervalued just kind of in general. I don't know what the bullpen situations are looking like off the top of my head with this game still going on. It looks like Texas has used Milner, Maton. So looks like they don't.
The Texas bullpen should be fine regardless of what happened.
I don't think that they've really used anybody bad. So yeah, it would be Texas for me. I just think that they have. I know that Castillo at home has been really good, but I think that we're kind of getting a really bad price with this Rangers team as far as Merrill Kelly is concerned. Like, I think that he should be a significantly bigger favorite. Yeah, I just want to look into it. I mean, I want to look into it a little bit more, but
I don't understand.
You can get a pretty big spread on this game right now because DeGrom was factored into this originally, I want to say. But like if you look at DraftKings versus FanDuel right now, you can get like plus 110 on Texas versus almost a pick 'em, I believe.
Yeah, it swung. So when I made these graphics, DeGrom was still. It's now Merrill Kelly, and this is the number you see on the screen is not the number. You can get Texas at plus 110. So in fact, I found
my notes just really quick. I just want to add two more things. This is going to be the third time that Texas is seeing Castillo, which I think is another thing that's a plus. And Merrill Kelly already pitched well against the Seattle lineup earlier this year in Arizona, where he went 6 innings and didn't give up a run and struck out 7 people. So I think he's really, after that San Francisco start at home, Merrill Kelly really has turned things around. Road starts at San Diego, Angels, and Pittsburgh. He looked really good in all those starts. I really like Texas tomorrow.
What do you think, Spoon?
I'm checking. You can still get it over 7 right now. It looks like minus 120 is the best number. I do like Merrill Kelly, but if you want to circle one thing about him is he struggles with lefties. You got Cal Raleigh in this lineup, Josh Naylor, Jorge Polanco, Canzione, JP Crawford, Cole Young. I think this is a spot where I don't really expect Merrill Kelly to pitch amazing. I think he gives up 2 or 3 runs at least, and on the opposite side, Luis Castillo is not a guy I love to back. I think the Texas bats are in a spot where they can tag some runs off him as well. The bullpen arms are getting used for both sides tonight. I like this over.
I'm just checking. Oh, guys, it is Aloha Shirt Day in Seattle. I'd like to get a picture of this Aloha shirt. Oh my God, it's disgusting.
Never is. Seattle doesn't do good with that stuff.
This is, oh my God, Toast, you would wear this. You would wear this. Why are you putting? I know for a fact you would wear.
I love the colors. Straight up, love the colors. Just execution just failed.
Love the colors.
Execution was failed. Can't do it.
Aloha shirt. I probably would agree with Spoon over on this one, but I don't have much interest, to be honest.
And honestly, guys, I know I usually say over in this series, but now we're getting to like 3 or 4 where it's not going over. So
that might be
I'm
dead.
not going to keep on.
It was a nice couple of years.
It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. You're right, but can't keep on trying.
Astros, Red Sox in Boston. This price, man. The market does not give a shit about the Astros' new pieces. They don't care at all.
Well, I mean, I don't think that they're as good as people are making. Some people are making them out to be either. I mean, is Carlos Correa really that good, or is it just like a cool story? I'm just saying. I mean, it's more of a question. It's a rhetorical question.
He hasn't been very good, no.
So that's just kind of where I'm at. I mean, Jesus Sanchez. I mean, decent name, but I mean, a 250 hitter. So, saying. And I lost with Houston today. I thought the price was cheap, but
Spoon, any thoughts on this one?
I would like to try to get there with Houston. Jeremy Pena got pulled at the end of this game. Some hamstring tightness. This guy's just coming off the IL. I see a quote that says he's going to play tomorrow. I'd probably put that at like a 75-25 split. He does play if it's coming out of his mouth, but realistically, a guy coming off the IL and immediately having something like that, it brings some red flags up for me. He had 3 hits tonight before that, and he's an important bat if you're going to try to back the Astros. Walker Buehler has struggled a lot more with lefties than righties this season. The Astros do not have a ton of lefties to throw at him. You're just talking about Jesus Sanchez, and Victor Caratini's probably going to be a switch. Taylor Trammell. It doesn't match up well, and as much as I like Colton Gordon, I don't think he matches up that well with this Boston team. I guess if I really had to do it, I'd plug my nose and bet Boston here, but I don't want to.
Oh, you're on Boston. Oh, okay, yeah, me too. I like Boston.
I tried to sell myself on Houston. Every step of the way, I would just realize that it's a Boston spot.
I mean, besides the fact that Walker Buehler hasn't been great, I don't see why we're not, full send on Boston. First of all, Boston, one of those teams where usually this isn't the case, but this year have been one of the best teams in baseball at home, 34-21 at home. I think 35-21 now with them. I don't know if that was updated or not. Regardless, fantastic at home. Not to mention the fact that we know that Boston has been done extremely well versus left-handed pitching. I mean, if you want to pull up the spreadsheets and look at Boston versus left-handed starters, there's a whole bunch of 4s and 3s and 6s. I mean, there's a 0 against Christopher Sanchez. I'm sorry, a 1 versus Christopher Sanchez and a 0 versus Shota. Somehow miraculously that happened. But besides that, they've been putting up numbers versus left-handed pitching. On top of the fact, Colton Gordon really struggles with right-handed bats. I mean, there's going to be 3 lefty bats in that lineup. One of them being Duran, one of them being Roman Anthony, and the other one Yoshida. So some of the better bats, from Boston are lefties, but I don't really worry about Colton Gordon getting those guys out. So I don't understand why this price is so cheap. I mean, if Pena plays at 80%, good for him. I mean, he's not really doing that much anyway. So I don't understand why Boston is so cheap, honestly. I haven't bet him yet because I feel like I'm missing something, to be dead honest with you.
Houston's significantly better than Boston. Like I'm looking at the first 6 names of the lineup against first 6 names, and it's not even comparable. Like Houston's a significantly better team. Walker Buehler's been terrible.
I don't agree with that. I agree with Walker Buehler's been terrible. I don't agree that Houston's a significantly better team right now.
They are, though.
Especially looking at those lineups. I mean, what does Jose Altuve do for you batting? I mean, what?
You like Jose All right. Jose Altuve sucks, apparently. They've won 62 games. Actually, Boston's got a better record than I thought. I don't know. It would only be
they're 2 games off. I mean, Jose Altuve's finally starting to get hot. He wasn't doing anything forever. I mean, I don't know. I don't look at the first 6 names in those lineups and think it's that big of a difference. I mean, Roman Anthony's starting to come into his own. I mean, Bregman's been doing stuff all year. Ref Snyder absolutely smokes lefties. Duran's an all-star.
Seattle just hit a home run. So I believe that game...
Or
4-3. They just walked it off.
There you go. Definitely will be on Texas tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, so we got Spencer Strider against Chase Burns. Toast, any thoughts here?
I played over 8.5. I know that this is the Bristol game where it's in Bristol Motor Speedway. So the commissioner's bringing out the good balls for that. I mean, not to mention the fact that the humidity is going to be high, the pressure is going to be high. Everything lines up for runs tomorrow. Not to mention the fact that neither one of these guys are great. I know that Chase Burns has had decent looking starts at times, but not a guy that I really trust to go out there in the middle of nowhere in a racetrack and pitch well. I mean, I know that neither one of these offenses is great, but I think we just play over. I already played the over. I think it's going to be 9 tomorrow. It's got decent weather. It's one of those funky Major League Baseball games. The balls are going to be flying like they always do. I played over.
What do you think, Spoon?
As he touched on, this game is in Bristol Motor Speedway tomorrow. Pretty short corners for this. I think it's 325 to each corner, 330. It's a small park. It's in the middle of a small NASCAR racetrack. There's not a ton of room there. Anytime they put them in just weird spots, like Toast is saying, they really just are trying to show off, have a good game, and not a lot of people get excited about pitchers' duels. I could see Chase Burns coming out there and getting quite a few strikeouts. I could see Strider maybe getting some strikeouts as well versus the Cincinnati lineup. But strikeouts don't mean they're not going to give up runs, and I do like that over a lot. I think I saw this opened at 8s at certain spots, and it pretty quickly jumped to 8.5. I'm going to guess most of the sharps immediately nailed that 8 because they see the dimensions of this park as well as the weather. But that's what's going to keep me off this game. There's a 50% chance for rain the entire time this game's going on. I don't like getting involved with rain delays, but with these two bullpens, that's probably going to help it out if they do get the game in somehow. It's probably going to have a stoppage or two, and the relievers on these teams can both give it up. So I have a strong lean to the over, but I'm not going to get there with that weather.
Sounds good. Over or pass? I have no idea. Someone made a comment about the hat saying looking slick. Well, actually, the green screen is messing it. Look at the actual color of this without the green screen. The green screen, you can't see the real color of it. All right. So let's move on to the next one. 3 games remaining, and it's Diamondbacks Athletics. How do you not just blindly fade the Diamondbacks at this point? Spoon, would you agree with that?
I've been on that train for a little bit here, but JT Ginn is a pitcher I really like, and when you really like him, you try to look into everything they have, and this guy struggles versus lefties pretty hard. I think this is a Diamondbacks lineup that, I mean, the trade deadline has gone past now. You're going to start to see a turnaround. I don't think they're going to lose every single game in the second half of the season. And versus a young pitcher, I think he's going to give up enough runs that the Arizona Diamondbacks can be live in this game. I don't have a lot of faith in their bullpen. And then I would have to stick faith in Zach Gallen, who's been absolutely dog shit in his last 3 starts. 4 earned runs to the Pirates. That offense is terrible. 6 earned runs to Houston, 6 earned runs to the LA Angels. It's hard to try to explain why he would be good, but he's been pretty dominant versus righties. You're going to see most likely 6 righties in this Athletics lineup tomorrow. And he's on a contract year. Like, at some point in this season, he's going to have to put some good games together if he wants to sign a big contract next year. And a guy like Zach Gallen definitely wants to go and pitch for a better team than what he's on right now. Why not versus a young Athletics lineup? I can't do it, especially here in this ballpark. It's just such a run scoring environment. To try to say that the Diamondbacks bullpen and Zach Gallen aren't going to give up a bunch of runs is really hard, but I think Jin gets touched tomorrow too. Maybe I'm just walking myself towards an over, but I'm going to be off this game. Strongly into the Diamondbacks and over.
Toast?
I can tell you why Zach Gallen would struggle, because no one even called Arizona to trade for him. He's so bad. So mentally, he's broken. That's probably what it is.
How do you know nobody called?
Why is he still on there? He's an expiring contract.
Maybe they didn't get an offer they like.
Sold everything, and he's the one guy. Jordan Montgomery went out the door, and he doesn't even pitch. But Zach Gallen stays. Why? Because he's so good, and everybody wants him, and there might be talent there. He's terrible. He sucks.
Where did this what did Zach Gallen do to you back in the day? Because the hatred you've expressed towards him the last couple of years, it's deep. Is it just a Padres fan, or like?
No, people act like this guy is the second coming of Jesus sometimes, and he's absolutely terrible. He could pitch somewhat decent at home at times, and besides that, it's really not that fantastic, and he was aided by a very good Diamondbacks lineup behind him. The dude's absolutely terrible. I mean, he has since the beginning of June, he's had 2 good starts, one against the Padres, one against the Giants. Both of those teams we know essentially can't hit most of the time anyway. Besides that, he's given up 4 runs to every single team that he's possibly seen. So I have no reason to believe that he goes into this AAA ballpark against an Oakland team or a Sacramento team that has been a top 5 lineup versus right-handed pitching pretty much all year and a top 10 team at home. And not to mention the fact that all of their best lefties are all their major hitters like Butler, Kurtz, Soderstrom, and stuff like that. So I played Oakland team total over 4.5. I put it in the spreadsheet. I've already bet it. Zach Gallen in this bullpen in this ballpark. Yeah, I'll take the runs.
Show us on the doll where Zach Gallen touched you, Toast. I'm going to go with over, Pat. I'm not betting this one. All right, let's move on to the next game. White Sox, Angels, kind of a steep price here for the Angels, but I do get it. The White Sox are not seeing a lefty, which has kind of been the go-to. The White Sox see a lefty, they tend to score some runs. What was the final score of that game tonight?
6-3 White Sox.
Yeah, but there was a lefty on the mound. It was Tyler Anderson. So now it's Hendricks. I still don't know why you make the Angels minus 156. The White Sox have been winning games, man.
Not only that, I mean, not that I'm like running to the window to back Aaron Savale, but back finally now that he's settled in and knowing that he's not going anywhere for a while in Chicago, he's pitched back-to-back good starts against the Pirates, who, keep in mind, Pirates have been winning a whole bunch of baseball games, and then the Cubs, they're a decent team, they're a second place team. So it would only be, for me, it'd only be the White Sox. Sorry to cut you off, but it would only be the White Sox for me. I mean, Kyle Hendricks is coming off his best start in 17 years against Seattle, where he went 6 innings and gave up 1 run on 2 hits. So not that he's been getting like absolutely shelled. I was kind of making fun of him a little bit, but regardless, I don't feel like the Angels should be this big of favorites to anybody, really.
I don't get it. Why are we getting such a good number? I mean, Savale's actually thrown back-to-back shutouts, 5-inning shutout,
I'm saying,
6-inning shutout. I mean, I'm not saying we should back Savale, but between him and Kyle Hendricks, it's not like the Angels have a significant starting pitching advantage, maybe a little bit, but it's pretty close. The White Sox have been hitting, and I mean, dude, we're talking about a considerable sample size here. In the last 30 days, this is a top 10 lineup. This is a top 5 lineup in the last 14 days. This is not against lefties. This is just overall. And I know we talk about the White Sox against lefties. Look at their numbers against righties. I mean, they're still, in the last 2 weeks, a top 5 lineup against righties. The White Sox are hitting, period.
And do the road, too. I was going to say, show them the road since you had it up, because the road's even better.
Wow. Okay, so they're also a top 5 lineup on the road in the last 30 days. So, I mean, Spoon, do you think it's just the market hasn't caught up to how the White Sox are playing right now?
I think they just see Aaron Savale out there on the mound coming off the 2 best starts of his season and don't expect him to continue to do that. You look at his splits versus lefties, a 4.55 xFIP versus righties, a 5.52 xFIP. If there's one thing you circle out and try to find a good pitcher, like if they struggle with lefties, that's the time you want to face the Angels. But versus the righties, you got Neto, Trout, Adele, like all their big bats are righties here for the LA Angels. I expect them to get runs off Aaron Savale tomorrow. I don't expect to see another 0 on the board. I'd be absolutely shocked. And Kyle Hendricks, this guy's been a Cub his entire career. You'd never stop disliking the White Sox if you're a Cub player. I think he's very comfortable pitching against this AAA level lineup. I see the recent numbers they're hitting. You can say that, but I don't think they're going to score enough runs to keep Aaron Savale in this game. I don't have my phone just died, so I can't build the -1 right now, but that's what I would do right here. I think it's -150 for a reason. Nobody likes Kyle Hendricks, but he has a 4 ERA at home. He's coming off another home start, so he gets to build on that. Anytime you get consecutive home starts as a pitcher, especially a guy like Kyle Hendricks, who's very detail oriented, I think it's just a really big advantage. Only gave up 1 earned run to a Seattle lineup that I think is a lot better than this White Sox lineup. I could see this being a 5-4 run game by the time the bullpens get in here, and then I just got to have a little bit of faith in this Angels bullpen to close it out. LA -1.
All right, let's move on to this next one. What is this price?
I mean, the same thing today. We got. I mean,
No, the Padres are like minus 160 today.
Well, they were 145 when you bet them early like me. They're 130 tomorrow when you bet them early like me as well. It's only going to go up, boys. Get in while you can. The Padres are hot.
All right, let's relax. It's more the Cardinals are bad.
Well, they just swept the Mets, and then the Mets lost again today. So let me know when you win a game.
Okay. Remember when we eliminated you from the play? Oh, no, we didn't. That was the Brewers.
I don't remember that. I remember you guys tried to get Joe Musgrove's ear, and that didn't work out very well for you.
Joe Musgrove. Yeah, I got a minus 135. I'm betting it. So what number did you get?
130.
Okay.
There's 134 on FanDuel or Sauce.
Really? Oh, minus 134 on FanDuel. Yep. Cool. I'm going to grab it right now. I'm on the. You're on the Padres. Go ahead, Toast. I mean, you shouldn't need. The Padres are loaded since the deadline. They're at home. The Cardinals traded away their bullpen arms. What is this price?
I mean, on top of that, I mean, the only thing that you can say is that these lineups both saw each other, so maybe the Cardinals get a couple runs off of Randy Vasquez. I'm not trying to say that Randy's going to just throw another one-inning gem, but I mean, if you really, I mean, I know that we have a lot of fun with the whole Randy Vasquez thing and stuff, but if you really look at Randy Vasquez, he really doesn't get shelled. I mean, I think he's been shelled, I think, twice so far this year, really. So I think that any sign of trouble that he is pulled, and then you have the full Padres bullpen with, I mean, essentially the who's who of everybody in there rested and available. So maybe you don't see Suarez because he's 2 of the last 3. But besides that, I mean, Mason Miller worked today. He had the previous multiple days off. They're still going to have Morihone, Morgan, Strada. I mean, it's just an embarrassment of riches in that Padres bullpen. So to get them at 130 at home is just too much to pass. Too good to pass, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm in. Spoon?
Yeah, I knew the minus 134 was there because I just bet it. This is a spot you always ask how many lefties are in the lineup. It's probably just 3. You got Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson, Nolan Gorman. Those are some decent bats for St. Louis, but this team's really not in a spot where I think this line probably closes minus 150. And I don't really have that much faith in St. Louis's lineup to get run off Randy Vasquez. I really like Michael McGreevy. I think he's an underrated pitcher at this point. All these totals are juiced to the over. It's sitting at 8.5 right now. If this total hits 9 tomorrow, I think the public is gonna like the over with a rookie on one side versus this Padres lineup, and then Randy Vasquez. Not a lot of people really like him. If that total hits a 9, I'm gonna bet that under as well.
It's all the way up to minus 145 on the ESPN bet already. So yeah, I would imagine this one should close very well. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Spoons got his walk-off wagers show. That's Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on the Pub Sports channel. So if you guys want to show him some support on Sunday morning, that's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Betting league stuff I'll have up. Give me about 20-25 minutes. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah. That's it. Oh, real quick. Oh, you guys can leave. I wanted to show something. I literally had ChatGPT make this a second ago because there was some couple comments. Guys, what do you bet in this coin flip?
Tails.
Why?
I mean, the math is going to work out for you because you're getting plus 110 on a 50-50 bet.
Right. But it's not because you're picking tails. It's not.
No, yeah, the number.
Yes.
It's the number.
So, guys, it's not because you think tails is going to flip, because if you calculate the fair price on this, you've handicapped the coin flip. You've determined, I think it's going to be 50-50 based on my calculations. So the fair price is plus 100, plus 100. So the tails at plus 110 is a positive EV bet. So I just wanted to use this. I'm trying to think of examples to give people because there's still comments coming in. And I get it. There's just going to be people that just aren't going to get it. But I'm trying to think of like simple examples where it clicks. Don't try to predict who's going to win the game. Calculate a probability of what are the chances you think this team is going to win, and can you place a positive EV bet at that number? Can you beat it? So that was the example I thought of on ChatGPT about 5 minutes before we went live. But I'm trying to think of examples to show like a deck of cards or something where it could just click. Because I remember when it clicked for me a couple of years ago, it was kind of like, oh yeah, So I'm trying to think of like simple examples, but
Yeah, it's like what bothers me when people say like -110 and even money. Like that's not even close to even money.
that's some big on that. Everyone, enjoy your Saturday. Hit me up if you need me.